Good morning, friends. This is Becky with Becky Budgets. I just wanted to go ahead and restart with budgeting. As I shared a couple weeks ago, my husband's car died and we had to get a new vehicle. That set my anxiety off the track because I am a creature of habit, and it blew our budget out of the water. We are currently in the process of making some changes in order to keep our debt journey on track. They have not played out completely yet. What we have is my husband's going to be working 7 days a week for the foreseeable future, which is going to add 2 days to his paycheck. And then I'm in the process of interviewing for a second job. So hopefully those play out within the next couple weeks so that we don't feel like we are sinking. Updates on the car. We ended up opting to fix it, and we have about $2,300 going towards the car to fix the truck. It is a better car for the snow. And we are also paying a little more in car insurance because now we have 3 vehicles. And my car needs new tires urgently. So those are all things that are already getting worked on, which is going to affect our debt. But hopefully with the changes we have in place, we'll be able to get those paid off quickly. Anyways, since budgeting went by the wayside, I am going to go ahead and start back to basics so that I can stay consistent with everything. What I did was I printed the month of November from the Budget Mom's Paycheck, Budget by Paycheck workbook that I bought digitally. And I'm going to go ahead and just start from the beginning. So bear with me, and you can see how I kind of jump into my budget after letting it go by the wayside for a couple weeks. So let's go ahead and do this. All I've done is put in the dates of the week and then the days of the month. And so what I do is I write down all of our bills. So let me start by paychecks. I got paid on the 1st. And then my husband got paid on every Thursday. So I'm going to write those in. And this tells me that we have a 4-week month this month. And this one is going to go towards our December week 1. Now I go ahead and put down all of our bills. So on the 1st, we always have rent. Sadly, that has gone up, and we re-signed, but it's at $2,900. So that basically is eating up what I used to pay on my Upstart loan. On the 2nd, we have Upstart, which is $711.04. Then we have Allstate, which is $180. And that's the car insurance. Now in December, that goes up to about $315 because that's when we start paying for the new car. Then we've got the snowball from the Barclays of $170. Audible this month, which does not get paid. On the 8th, we have another snowball. It was my husband's Chase card. So we have a snowball amount of $163 that I don't want to lose sight of. And then Excel, which is our gas and energy, I always budget $250 for. The 9th is when T-Mobile is due. And I'm going to, that did go up because of inflation to about 107, but I'm going to go ahead and budget 110 for that. On the 12th, we have my Freedom card due with a minimum of 112. The 15th, we have Xfinity for 172. The snowball from my husband's student debt, which is 181. The Microsoft, which is up to about $16, but I'm going to put 18. And then the Cricket, which is 11. We don't have anything on the 16th. On the 17th, we pay for Apple Care on my cell phone, which is $10. On the 21st, we have the Apple subscription, which is $25. On the 25th, we have Peloton, which is $48. And I'm sorry, you can hear little Linus crying. I haven't filmed in a while, so they're not used to it. The 27th, I have my Chase Slate due. That's $91. And then Amazon, which is $17. And then on the 28th, we have my husband's snowball from when we were paying his phone, which is $57. And that rounds out the whole month. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 4 different highlighters. These are the 4 that I've got in my little pen holder, and I'm going to split up the paychecks. So our first paycheck took care of everything through this paycheck. So it was my income, my husband's income, rent was paid, the Upstart, Allstate, Snowball. Audible didn't get paid, but it's counted for, and then another Snowball and the Excel. So all of that was paid with that first check. Our second check, this is the week that we're currently in, that gets pink, and it's going to cover T-Mobile, the Chase Freedom, Xfinity, the student loan, Snowball, Microsoft, Cricket, and that's it. Our next paycheck, which is on the 16th, is going to cover the Apple Care, the Apple subscription, and those are the only 2 bills that it needs to cover. And then last but not least is the paycheck on the 23rd, which will cover the Peloton, the Slate, the Amazon, and the Snowball. So this is going to give me an idea of what we need to pay week by week. I took care of all the weeks, or all of the payments for that first week in November. And so I did print it out because I wrote it in a notebook. And this is going to get transferred over, but I'm not going to share it on this video because I don't want to make it too long. So we're going to go into our second week in November. And I'm just going to put these papers together. So I'm going to do our paycheck for, and this isn't the pen that I like to use. Where did I put that pen? There it is. So we're going to do my husband's paycheck on November 9th. And his is the only income that we are expecting. So I'm just going to put my husband's pay, which I have at $650. And that means that our inflow total is $650. The bills that we have due this week are T-Mobile, my Chase Freedom, Xfinity, the student loan snowball, and then Microsoft, and Cricket. So those are all the bills that are due this week. T-Mobile was due on the 9th. Luckily, we have all of these on automatic payment so that I don't get a late fee. Freedom is due on 11/12. Xfinity and the rest are due on the 15th. So that's when the bills are due. The T-Mobile bill I have to $110. The Freedom is $112. Oh my goodness. Xfinity I have to $172. Microsoft I upped to, let's take a look, to $18. And the Cricket is $11. So let me go ahead and I'm going to grab Linus so that he stops crying. Linus is going to join us so that he stops crying. I do apologize. So I'm going to go ahead and add those values. Let me make sure that it's in frame. Ooh, it's a whole big old mess. See, there's nothing for you to see up here, mister. So as far as our bills go, we are looking at a total of $423. And when we take that away from $650, it leaves us with $227. Now, the variable expenses that we account for from week to week are food, gas, pets, hubby, me, eating out, and miscellaneous. Of these, last week I was able to meet these two. And then I skipped Pat's, hubby, and me, and I put 100 towards food and 100 towards gas. My sinking funds, I've got medical, vet, oh my goodness, household. Let's get him up. I haven't recorded in a while, so now both of my dogs aren't used to it. It'll take a little while to get used to. So I've got medical, vet, household, car maintenance, gifts, vacation, car registration, Amazon, and emergency. If at all possible, I do want to do the 52-week challenge for my husband. And then a buffer, because I have all of our like extra change go into the buffer. Based on this, and I forgot to put this value here. Based on this, from those 227, I have 181 going towards our extra debt. Which means that I have $46. And I'm going to go ahead and put those towards food. And that means I'm going to skip all of all of the sinking funds with 181. And we're not going to put anything towards our buffer. Now, this is the base for this week's budget. I have since figured out, or we got my husband's paycheck. So today's the day that I went through and paid everything that hadn't automatically gone through. My husband's paycheck came in for $820.11. He did get some overtime there. Now, he was sick this last week, so he didn't work the 2 days extra. And then I caught the cold afterwards, which is why I'm a little stuffy. But he did bring in $820. I don't expect this for next week, but that is okay. Our T-Mobile bill came in for $105.99. Freedom was $112. Xfinity was $171.42. Microsoft came in for $17.81. And then the Cricket is $10.79. When I add those values together, I forgot a 2 there. Let's start that over. It's $10.79. That means that we paid $418.01 towards bills. And when I take that away from the income, it leaves us with $402.10. Working backwards, I am going to go ahead and account for the 181 that goes towards Snowball. So we'll do the 181, and that equals 221. I'm going to go ahead and take the 130 that we need for our sinking funds, which leaves 91.10. I have a buffer in food, so I'm not going to put those 46 towards food. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take 50. Oops, they both fell. So I'm going to take 50 and put it towards gas. And I'm just going to pull that value down. We're going to skip the rest, which leaves a total of 50. And that, I don't know if I already did the math, but let's do it again. That's going to leave us with $352.10. When I pull the $352.10 up, medical is going to go ahead and get 50. Vet, household, Car maintenance and gifts get 15 each, and then vacation, car registration, Amazon, and emergency get $5 each. And that equals 130. So when I take 130 away from there, it leaves us with 221. I need a white out. I missed a 2. So it's 222.10. From the 222.10, I'm going to take the 181, and that leaves us with 4101, which means I can put the 2650 into savings, and 60 cents are going into the buffer, and $14 are going into debt. So I'm going to put snowball. So the 181 plus the 14 equals 195 minus this total, which is 222.10, is going to leave us with 27.10. And that should equal what these two values equal to get us to a zero-based budget. So I'm going to add to 2650 and then add 60 cents. And yes, that gets us a zero-based budget. I hope that made sense to all of you. As always, I do check my math. So I've got 820.11 minus 418.01 minus the 50 going towards gas, minus the 130 going towards our sinking funds, the 195 going towards our debt, and then 27.10 going into savings. And yes, my friends, that gets us to a zero-based budget. I have no clue what time it is right now, but if it is early enough, I am going to go ahead and get ready, go to the bank, take the money out, and then do a cash stuffing. I have the money from last week already set aside, and then I will add that to this week so that we can do my cash stuffing because nothing has gone into my envelopes. Well, friends, thank you so much for your patience during this time. I am going to do my best to stay consistent. So I will be back on Thursday I'll be back tomorrow with our next week budget, and then on Thursday with our paycheck update. I hope each and every one of you is having a wonderful weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye, friends.